Hey LPS educators, it's Erica coming to you from the Office of Curriculum and Instruction with video 5 on how to upload evidence for your evidence submission. So let's get started. Go straight to your browser, select your quick link or search for TeachPoint login. Find your plan and scroll down to First Evidence, Teacher Evidence Form number 1, or it may say SISP if that's your evidence form, building administrator, etc. You will notice that standards 1 through 4 are listed, as well as each indicator. Under each indicator is a text box for narrative summary for you to submit a paragraph or two, or whatever you feel is appropriate to describe the body of evidence that you are submitting. Just whatever you choose to write, make sure that you ensure your evaluator sees what you want them to see. You're doing some really great work out there, so highlight the great things that you are doing. In Ludlow, we look at the 4 standards and the 16 indicators as what is required for submission for evidence over the course of the 2 evidence submission points. So when you are submitting evidence for evidence 1, you only need to submit a section of those standards. You do not have to submit all standards 1 through 4 and all 16 indicators. You will submit those over the course of your evaluation cycle in totality. You can also include the elements, but those are not necessary. However, when submitting for your student learning goal and professional practice goal, evidence around progress being made relative to these goals does need to be submitted in both the submission of evidence form 1 and the submission of evidence form 2. So collectively, all standards need to be addressed over the course of your evaluation cycle, and the student learning and professional practice goals need to be addressed at each evidence submission point. Also, when you're submitting your body of evidence, make sure that you tag or connect your evidence to all of the standards you want an evaluator to look at, just to make sure that we're looking again at what you want us to see. If you have a body of evidence that reflects more than one standard or indicator, which many of you likely do, you do not have to put that body of evidence in multiple locations. You can put the body of evidence in one location. Just be sure, again, to tag or connect your evidence to the standards you want to be reflected in the body of evidence you submit. So that is what we're going to be submitting. Now, how do we submit? So, as you are aware, we have the paperclip function. And in that paperclip function, you can upload a regular file or URL from a desktop, but most of us operate in Google Drive. You can attach a Google Drive file by clicking on File and selecting a document within. You can make a note if you want additional information. Ignore the tagging function here. It does not support the tagging that we want it to. And then you would simply save this file. The image of the file comes up so you can confirm that that is exactly what you had intended to attach. In doing so, you'll notice that there's a hyperlink to the document and it ends in DOC. That is a file, and that is a static file, meaning it does not change. Even if you change it in Google Docs, this file is static in your evaluation submission of evidence form. Now, if you want to attach a document that is static or changes as you update the document, select Google Link. Attach the same type of file. You can make a note and save the attachment. Again, it shows you the image to confirm. And here you will see the same document, but saved as a G-link. Again, GC doc is a static file that stays the same. the G link is dynamic and it will update as you update that Google Doc. Now you might want to use that G link if you are collecting data to showcase maybe progress on a goal. And this way, no matter when you update that, your evaluator can see those updates. So that's what the difference is between the Google Doc link and the Google Doc and the Google link. Again, you have now attached two bodies of evidence, and now you want to tag what standards the evidence reflects. So we're going to go to the tag. You will see standards 1 and the indicators and elements, as well as standards 2, 3, and 4 with their indicators and elements listed. And I'm going to go to standard 4, and I'm going to select professional culture, goal setting, professional learning and growth, collaboration, and judgment, because this is a mentorship document. And I'm going to save that. In doing so, you can see here that I now have the attached standards and indicators that I want reflected as part of my evidence related to these documents. So that's how you select different files, the file's functions, and how you tag the files and body of evidence that you are reflecting in your narrative. Now you may say to me, hey Erica, I attached something, but I've decided I have something better. In order to remove a file, you simply click on the link, hover over the X in the circle, and you can delete that file. It will ask you to confirm that you want to delete it. And in this case, I'm going to say yes, delete. Now you can see that there's only one document listed, but the tags are still there. If I want to remove the tags, I simply click back on the tag icon and I unclick any of the standards or indicators that I want removed. Or if I feel like there's more standards, I can then add additional indicators. And then whatever that is, I would save it. Now remember, with all Google Docs, you need to make sure that you have shared that file or at least made it viewable to anyone with an LPS email address, so that when your evaluator goes in to look at these items, that they will still be able to reach out to the drive and access the documents that you have attached. Once I'm done with that, I'm going to definitely save my work. We don't want to lose that. And I'm going to close out. Now that you've applied evidence, you have tagged documents, you have tagged your standards, elements, and indicators, I can check what standards and elements and indicators have been cited in my evidence form by going to the fifth icon, which is a bar graph, and it's entitled Reports. I'm going to click on Search Data, Quick Search, and in this case, I will need to search for my name, and I'm going to generate a report. At the top of this report, you'll see the fields of form, content, tags, date, and you will notice that there's a lot of activity in this particular file, but as I scroll down in this column right here where the tags are listed, here I come about my evidence form, the blurb that I had typed in that text box, as well as all the standards that I had checked off as you watched. And this is where you will have a running list of the standards that you have identified. Now, TeachPoint doesn't give you the standards you've selected and the standards and indicators you have not yet selected. You merely get the standards and indicators that you have selected. In order to figure out what remains to be supported in your submission of evidence, what I have done that I would suggest we do is that we go to the Ludlow Public Schools website under Curriculum and Instruction, select Professional Development, and this is where our videos are housed. And right beneath our videos, I have added links to the Teacher at a Glance, SISP at a Glance, etc., the one-page rubric for you to be able to view. Now, what this one-pager does is it gives you your 4 standards, your indicators as well as the elements. And you can take this document, print it, and then refer back to the page that we were just on, and you can check off the standards that you have identified in your form, and then you will be able to identify what remains to be showcased in future submissions of evidence. And so that is the best way to kind of keep track, to figure out what you have and what you may not have for evidence. And so that concludes how to add, delete, tag, and check for which standards, indicators, and elements you have submitted for your evidence form number 1. Hopefully this video has been helpful. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. Have a great day.